coming up short, fucking with Too Short. Too Short.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Today was day 2 of my 5th week of training for my meet coming up. Well, coming up in February. Anyways, today was bench, deadlift, seated overhead press, and I was supposed to have pause squats in there, but I didn't do them today because I just wasn't feeling great today, and my knees were aching a little bit, and I decided to call it quits after the overhead press. So for pause bench today was calling for a ×3 at an RPE of 9 with a pretty large low drop of 6 to 9%. I ended up working up to the set right here with 335 for 3, which is a PR for me. So I'm really happy with this, but overall I would have liked this to be a true 9. It wasn't. I gave it a 9.5. I gave it a 9.5 because I don't think I could have done another rep, but I could have done a little bit extra weight. So that's why it was a 9.5. Anyways, after that, went down to 305 and did 3 more triples. They all felt pretty good. Nothing too crazy to report from there. My elbow was cracking as per usual, but that's nothing out of the ordinary. Really focusing, as I have been lately on my pause bench, is focusing on using my chest to lock the weight out, as well as obviously my triceps, and that seems to be working really well, as I am by far the strongest I've ever been on bench press right now, so I'm very, very happy with that. After my benching, I moved on to sumo deadlifts. I began my workups here with around 585. And today I just wasn't really feeling it on the sumo deadlift, unfortunately, which is really annoying. But, you know, it happens sometimes. So I decided instead of going up to an RPE 9 at 4, I would just stick with 585 and just do a bunch of sets with that. So I ended up with 5 sets of 4 at 585, which was a lot of volume. But, you know, back feels good. Everything's feeling real, real good. One thing I realized, and something that really bothered me here, is the fact that my platform just sucks. I gotta make a new one. It's basically, there's huge divots on either side of the bar. So basically every single time I'm lifting off of a deficit, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it would be nice if it was set up properly. And then on top of that, you'll see on this set, I just gave up after my 3rd rep because I was so pissed off because the bar is moving side to side. And I think the main reason that it's moving side to side is because my clips just aren't working. I'm using gigantic clips meant for carpentry, and they work really well for everything else, but for deadlifts, because you know the weight just shifts to one side because I guess the platform's off kilter, they just don't work. So at the end of my set, basically the bars shifted over to my right side about 4 or 5, or maybe 3-4 inches, and I'm putting 2 of those clips on and still not doing anything. So got to get that figured out as well. Anyways, after that set of 3, I was really annoyed, and I finished off with 2 more sets of 4 here. Not too much to report here. It wasn't exactly a deadlift session that I'm super proud of, but I kind of felt like I needed to just, get some reps in and not go as hard as I usually do. And, I've been setting PRs on deadlifts almost every single time for the past couple weeks, so I'm going in the right direction. This is just, think of it as a stepping block, but not necessarily a roadblock or anything like that. So it was good. After my sumo deadlifts, it was time for seated barbell overhead press. This particular workout called for sets of 4, working up to a 9 RPE, and I ended up with 2 PRs actually. This was 185. I jumped up to 210 after that, and that felt pretty good, but not quite a 9. I gave it about an 8.5. So I added just 5 pounds, just worked up to 215 pounds, and ended up with that for a set of 4 at an RPE 9. So that's a PR as well. Both those are PRs. So very happy with my overhead pressing, and I feel it's definitely carrying over a lot to my bench press, as that's going up quite well right now as well. So very happy with this. After this set, I did 2 back off sets with 200 pounds and then called it a day. Again, supposed to do pause squats after this, but didn't end up doing them. Just thought I'd give my legs some more recovery. I'll get back to it on Friday. Anyways, that's it for today. Thanks for checking in. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will talk to you again very, very soon. Friday will be slanger, rack deads, and more squats. So yeah, that's it for today. Peace.